Yo guys, welcome back to another video here at Trader's Journey. I've got another exciting video where I'm going to go over the stock Nndm. I've actually had a request from Roger, so shout out to you, a newly subscribed member to the channel. So I'll be featuring this stock, and I'll be also featuring a bonus stock towards the end, which Roger has also requested. So feel free to hold up for that, guys, and wait for the update on the next stock as well. But we'll be going over Nndm first. We'll be going through the fundamentals as well as the technicals to understand whether this is a good stock to be investing at this point in time. Just before I get into the video, if you haven't checked out my Instagram, which is traderjourney_official, be sure to check that out, as I'm providing trading tips and tricks over there for you guys to benefit. Currently got 93 followers, so be sure to follow me on there, and hit me up in the DMs if you guys have any particular questions. So without any delay, let's get straight into the stock. So as you can see, we have the weekly chart up at the moment. So you can see there was a huge sell-off back from August 16. We've had this huge sell-off and to all-time lows of roughly 59 cents. So I mean, as it's found support there, that would have been a good entry point had you have known that. But now the stock has gone on a decent rally. It doesn't look as big in comparison to this huge weekly chart, but believe me, that is a very good surge in the price. We went from lows of 59, we had some pullback here back down to 131, and then we saw this huge rally which still seems to be going, which currently hit a high of around 1143. So question is, are we too late to join in on the fun, and do the fundamentals tie up with this investment? So let's go through the technicals first. So as you can see, I've got some EMAs on the chart here. We have seen the 9 EMA cross above the 21 and cross above the 55. So for me, that is a good buy signal as of now. But keep in mind, this is on the weekly time frame. So let's go down to some of the smaller time frames. Let's go to the daily. So you can see from the daily, had you have held this stock from May, just after the coronavirus news, you would have caught this huge rally. And even if you'd caught it around September, October, even November, just towards the end of last year, you would have been able to catch this huge wave. So there has been a lot of hype and a lot of talk about this stock across social media. Now, in terms of profit and in terms of targets, I think it's primarily based off of the fundamentals at this stage. That we haven't got enough information from this rally. There has been very few pullbacks. We've had about 3 pullbacks during this upward trend. You can see there's a clear upward trend here on the daily time frame. So maybe potentially for any investors, you could wait for a pullback back to this trend line before you decide to invest. But the key factor with this investment is going to be understanding the fundamentals, and does it have a place in this industry which it operates in. But in terms of profit targets, you can see I have some price levels here from a technical point of view. So you could see there is some resistance here at 12.15. So I'll be interested to see past 12.15, and if we have any pullback down to a low of potentially 692. So I'll be waiting for a good entry in this. I'm not currently invested in the stock, but should we see above 12.15, I have profit targets of 16.27. 21.27, there's a huge gap there. 24.16, and potentially highs, maybe not in the short term, but maybe in the long term, potential highs of 33.51. So the potential on this stock compared to the downside of 59 cents, at the moment it is at a pivotal point. So we'll be keeping a close eye over it over the next day to weeks to see what this stock does, and I'll keep you guys posted on my social media should I be invested in this stock. So I think that's really enough on the technicals, as we've only seen this recent surge in the price, although it has been hundreds of percent of increase from a low of 150, 130. So let's go into the fundamentals of this stock. What makes this stock so special? What industry does it operate in? So Nano Dimensions Limited, it's been operating since 2012. We've got current CEO of Yoav Stern. Got a chief operating officer of Ziki Pelad. So some interesting stats there. 2012, it's been around for a long time. Headquarters are in Israel. So what these guys actually do, they're in the semiconductor space. They help produce a lot of R&D, research and development work surrounding semiconductors. So when you think about their competitors, we do have a few that there's a few to think of. You've got Intel Corporation, you've got Qualcomm, you've got MU, you've got Nvidia, which is probably one of the biggest ones, which has a huge market share, as well as Intel Corporation. So some big competitors in the industry, but that's not to say that they can't take some of that market share. Now, why these guys are probably more interesting than those other stocks such as Nvidia is these guys also create printers. So as you can see, this is their website, which is nano-d.com. I'll try and leave a link in the description box below. So you can see they are involved in plenty of research and development. One of the most exciting things they do have going on with them is they do try and print semiconductors using a printer. So you can see how useful this company would be for several players in electronic devices, medical space, automotive. They will be relevant in every single in the whole digital age. So you can see, compared to the size of their competitors, direct competitors, they are obviously a far way off from gaining any of that market share. So I mean, it is something to think about. It is it's a fast growing sector and industry, so it is definitely a place where I see a lot of investment going into. They do spend a lot of their costs within R&D, as you can see here, ensuring that their sort of manufacturing systems and printers, these are essentially like sort of 3D printers that are printing these devices. So I don't feel as though there is many players at all in this particular area. So there is a lot of hype. There's a lot of news surrounding the stock, which is only going to create more buyers in the stock. So it's important to know your competitors before you start investing in these stocks. But I do think this one stands out compared to its competitors, as they're doing something completely different and seem to be in sort of a league of their own. Now, this brings me on to some other technicals. Now, obviously, looking at the technical analysis and the graph, it's already surged by a huge amount. So, are we late to the party, and is it too late to start investing? Now, I believe it's probably depending on the profitability of this company in the future. That should be your main concern before investing. Now, at this current moment in time, for any investors looking to invest in this stock, it is still a loss-making company. They haven't made any profits as yet, although the losses are reducing, and they have a targeted loss of 8 cents per share. They're still some point away from actually making a profit. So we can't purely go off of the share price surge at this point, because that is obviously been brought about by a lot of hype and news surrounding the stock, but we're still waiting to see some profits. Now, the CEO and the stock themselves have announced that they are looking to improve their earnings towards the midpoint of 2021. And Q3 results and Q2 results for mid 2021 is where you're going to see the company actually improve in its profitability and revenues. You can see from my previous videos, I have mentioned that Nvidia semiconductor business as a whole has actually struggled from a supply chain perspective, and Nano Dimensions have experienced the same. So judging from that particular piece of news and judging from the technicals, there may not be a good entry point for this stock. You might just need to invest based off the fundamentals and ride this stock for the next future years. If you're looking for short-term gains, maybe this is too risky for you to invest in. But over the long term, judging that the stock found support at 59 cents and has since not come back to that level of support, it shows me that there's a good amount of momentum and buyers in the market pushing this stock higher and higher. So I think for now, if you guys are happy to hold this stock, then you'll probably see the most benefit in holding this stock from the mid of this year. So say halfway through 2021, when the business picks up, they sort out their supply chain issues, and they hopefully return to a profit making business. So those are the two factors which I would pay attention to. Avoid the hype surrounding the stock at the moment. understand the fundamentals, and if it aligns with your risk management strategy for investing, then definitely add this to your portfolio and potentially hold for the next few years, as this could be a huge, as well as the risk involved, this could return some huge percentages, maybe in the hundreds percent, maybe 1,000%, who knows, because judging from these previous highs, 73, it'll be interesting to get some more news from the analysts of what their target price is for the stock, but I'm yet to see any information on that. So if you guys have any links to that, leave it in the comment section below, as that will be very useful for everyone watching as well. So Nndm, guys, if you guys have any questions surrounding the stock, or you would like to discuss it, leave some comments there below, and we can get talking and discussing whether this is a good investment. I'll leave some links to all the websites which I've used in this video so far in the description box below, so be sure to check it out. So just from that, before I end the video, I do want to capture one more stock which was also requested by Roger, so thanks for that, Roger. I will be going over this stock, which I've done some brief technical analysis on, not so much because the stock has been around, I believe, from I think 2004. So yeah, the stock's been around from 2004. So I'm going to talk you guys through some quick technical analysis, and let's go from there. So yeah, IDEX is the next stock, Ideonomics as it's otherwise known. I'm going to check the weekly chart very quickly, but this one seems to be ranging quite a bit, guys. As you can see here, the stock seems to be ranging in this sort of range of 736 to a low of 27 cents. So it's been ranging in that sort of area for a while. If you flick over to the daily time frame, this is where we'll probably get some better analysis of what's happening with the stock. So like I said, it's had a recent low of 27 cents, and I believe that's probably the lowest it's been for a long time, at least in the recent years, say 4 to 5 years. So considering it's just hit that low back in March 2020, which was brought about by coronavirus and the pandemic, it did see a quick reversal, and you can see these huge spikes. So the volatility on this stock for me isn't particularly a good sign, as you'll see high fluctuations in your P&L if you were investing in this, depending on your entry point. At the moment, like I said, the fluctuations here are huge, and makes me slightly concerned about investing in this stock. But if you're not so concerned about these short-term fluctuations, maybe this is something to ride out. But again, just as the previous stock of Nndm, the fundamentals are just as important as the technicals for this stock, because you can see these huge fluctuations. There's huge amounts of volume being traded here, hence why there's such high volatility and fluctuations in the price. That tells me that maybe this stock is definitely something that people consider day trading and just making quick profits. So it is slightly concerning for anyone looking to invest in this stock for the long term. But I'm going to go over some of the fundamentals shortly for you guys, so maybe you can it will help you guys to understand what type of stock this is and if it's worth investing into the long term. So Ideonomics is the name. I've just gone onto their investors website, Ideonomics. I'll leave this in the link in the description box below as well. We can see the range. In a day's range, it ranges already 50 to 60 cents, which is 61 cents days range, which is pretty high. I mean, if you're investing a lot of money, you can make profits fairly quickly within a day if you get good entries and exits. But you can see there's roughly 3.64% change in the stock. You know, we've had weekly 52 week highs of $4.75 and lows of 28 cents. So a huge range, guys. So that can help you understand the risk of this stock, because depending on your entry point, you could potentially see lows of 28 cents or highs of $4.75. So that's something to keep in mind. But like I said, this stock, just looking at the charts, this seems to be highly volatile. And it doesn't seem to have gotten much traction in terms of direction for the stock. So like I said, this is the Ideonomics.com website. And what do they do? This is probably a question which most of you have. And they're sort of involved in several sort of areas of work. Some of the main areas are sort of electrical vehicles, commercial fleet operations, fintech. They are involved in several different business areas, including blockchain. So that should give you guys some hope for this stock. Blockchain is very much a stock for the future, just based off of what they're involved with in terms of fintech, financial technology. There's several divisions to the business. They deal with so much in terms of financing. They help businesses get started. So for me, this stock at the moment, like I said, it's very volatile. There's not much news fundamentals that we can go off of at the moment. But I believe, based off what this stock does and what they currently trade in, the business, the industry and the sector, it's definitely a growing sector, especially commercial electrical vehicles, especially fintech. That is definitely the future. So based off of that, the actual business model itself, this stock does seem strong and does seem as though it'll withstand any future sort of tailwinds and headwinds from disrupting its business. So fundamentals look very strong. I haven't had a chance yet to look into the profits or losses of the entity, but be sure to check that out. They've got an earnings date of March 15th, 2021. Currently, there's some EPS figures here and there's a market cap, but it doesn't look like we have much information to understand this stock yet. But we have seen a lot of news surrounding it. So, guys, I mean, for me, this might be a buy and just close your eyes and see what happens in the next 4 to 5 years, because at the moment I don't quite like the technicals at this point. It's highly volatile. You might be entering in a good point here as it's sort of mid-range from the highs and lows. It seems to be ranging in this area. For me, if you wanted a more safer entry, I would wait for a break of say 736 and ride it up to say 1051. But at the moment, it seems to just be high amounts of buyers and then just a huge sell-off, so people just taking profits. So this indicates to me there's a huge amount of day traders here, huge amount of people just flipping the stock, getting quick profits, and this suggests to me there's not many long-term investors. Whether that's beginning to change now because we've seen all-time lows and now we're starting to see some sort of trend form, but it's just not clear enough, guys. Based off my technicals, it's not stock which particularly excites me at this point. It may be good for anyone looking for quick profits, high risk, high return profits on such stocks. So that really covers off this video. I don't want to spend too much time on this stock. I hope you guys have got some value from this video. If you have, be sure to hit the like and leave me some comments, and feel free to hit me up on Instagram if you guys have any questions, whether trading or investing related. Be sure to hit me up there. I am very active every day, so I will get back to every single one of you. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to check out my Instagram, traderjourney_official, and I'll catch you all on the next one. Take care. Goodbye.